If we can sell it at 320, I know I'd be the one to do it, but I gotta go to bat for us with some empirical data. So obviously you want 320 for your home. You must be able to show that it's worth 320. So let's get our data together as a team so I can be prepared when I do sell this thing to go to bat for us with the appraiser. Show me what you got. So what percentage of homeowners do you think when you first meet them, they initially want too much for their house? Obviously, if you've been on lots of listing appointments, you know that virtually every homeowner wants a little bit more than their home's worth. And they're going to kind of test the waters to see if they can make that happen. No different than when you're trading in your car, right? You have an idea. Kelley Blue Book says it's worth $18,000. We're going to tell them $19,500, right? We're going to try and get a little bit more money. So it's normal for a homeowner to say, hey, I know my home's probably worth $300,000. We'd like to get $310,000. And then to stick to their guns, what they're going to do is say, well, if we don't get $310,000, we're not going to move at all. We can stay for another 2 years. We're not in a big hurry. If we don't get our price, we're not going to sell at all. Well, that's normal to say, right? That's the same thing we do when we trade in our car. Oh, I'm not in a hurry to trade in my car. I can keep it another couple years. I'm just curious. We're just looking. It's normal for that to happen. So what I want to show you in this quick video is how to stop a seller from asking too much for their home. Because again, literally 100% of the sellers you meet will initially want a little bit too much for their home. Our job is to get them at the right price. That's initially what we have to do, right? You don't want to price it a little higher and then eventually reduce the price when the market's shown that it's too much. You don't want to beat the other agents by promising a higher number that you know you're not going to realistically get. So the script that I'm getting ready to give you, and I'm going to give you a script around this. I want you to kind of learn this terminology that you'll be using here. But this all comes down to having that bulletproof listing presentation. You got to go through it chapter by chapter, know exactly how to present that to the homeowner. And what you'll find is if you've presented target marketing and you've shown how you can sell the home for more money and you've shown why you're drastically different than what all the other agents offer and some of the unique things that you do nobody else does, if you've built all of that in, this script that I'm going to give you will always get the homeowner where they need to be. Because the last thing you want to do is create any type of contention or any type of friction with the homeowner. As we know, you can give a great presentation and they love you and we're going back and forth in listing presentation, but then we get to pricing commission. And that's when the walls kind of go up. And if you say, let me give you some round numbers here. Let me say you say 300,000 and they say, well, we want 320, which is pretty realistic, right? Anything you say after that is telling them no, and it's not what they want to hear. So it's creating an argument, right? It's creating friction. So your home's worth 300. Okay, well, we want 320. Well, I understand that, but your home's only worth 300. Well, we're not going to move if we can't get 320. Anything that you say, like you don't want to go at 310, you don't want to go at 305, anything you say against what they're looking for makes you the enemy. Now they're negotiating against their own damn team member. Does that make sense? So what I want to show you is I'll walk you through this process and I'll show you the script that you can use to get them every single time to go to the right price based on realistic numbers, right? So this is the reason I always say you should not be bringing out comparable sales in the meeting. It's crazy to do that. You're going to cause problems if you do that. There's no rule that they need to sign comps. There's no rule they need to see comps. If you've looked at that data beforehand, you've already done your research before you go out there. You've never went out there and not looked at the comps, right? You've already done your research. You're an industry professional. And whatever you say it's worth, based on the research you've done, that's what it's worth. You don't have to show your work. You don't have to show how you came up with that number at all. Your home's worth $300,000. So have the comps with you, but don't bring them out because they're going to bring it over to you. If you tell me what my car's worth, if I'm trading in my car, and you say, well, here's the last Mercedes S-Class that we bought, I'm going to say, give me that. Look at those rims. That's not even as nice as, they didn't even have the sunroof. They didn't have the they didn't have any of that stuff, right? I'm beating up the comparables. If you think that's comparable to my car, you don't even know the market. Well, that's what homeowners are going to do. You'll lose credibility by trying to show your work because they're defending themselves at this point. So keep the comps in your bag. Have them. It's fine to bring them out if you need them, but don't use them unless you need them. And here's why. So here's how the path goes. We give a tremendous presentation. We've shown through the bulletproof listing presentation, we've shown them how we use target marketing, how we'll go to the most opportune buyers by exposing it to those buyers using that target marketing approach. We'll show them that most people are using the shotgun approach or like television ads or magazines at the Chinese food joint, right? They're doing all those things that don't work, and we use that targeted marketing approach. So we then get to chapter 4 of the bulletproof listing presentation, which is presentation of price and fee. And here's how we quote price. Here's exactly how you quote price. Your home's worth $300,000. Okay, that's it. That's all there is. We're not doing it, well, based on what I've looked at here, and, I don't know if you guys know, the one that sold down this, why are you doing that? Your home's worth $300,000. That's what it's worth. Now, they're going to come back. So I'll kind of walk you through the process of what it sounds like here. Based on the data we have here, your home will sell right at $300,000. Oh, well, Greg, we want $320,000 for our home. Oh, good. That's actually great news for me. See, I work on commission. So I'd love to say, heck, I want to sell it for $1 million. You got to talk me down, right? So let me tell you how I feel about that. If you think 320 will work, that's awesome for me too, because I'm on commission. So here's my honest opinion. If anybody can sell your home for more than it's worth, it's me. I mean, you remember I showed you the target marketing I do and how we expose it to the most opportune buyers? And if we can get a buyer to fall in love based on the amenities that you have, heck, I might be able to get them to overpay on the home. So that's great news that you'd like to get $320 for your home. That's more money for me too. Now, I have in my bag some of the comparable sales and that type of thing. I'll be honest with you, the most I can get it to is $300,000. But if my marketing is as good as I promise it is, if anybody could get you $320, it would be me. Now, here's the problem with this. If it's really that good and I do get that $320,000, the next day an appraiser is going to come in here and they're going to need to justify that price. So I'm going to have to go to bat for us to justify that price. So what I want to do is, I have some comps in my bag here, but I can't get us over $300,000. If we can sell it at $320, I know I'd be the one to do it, but I got to go to bat for us with some empirical data. So obviously you want $320 for your home. You must be able to show that it's worth $320. So let's get our data together as a team so I can be prepared when I do sell this thing to go to bat for us with the appraiser. Show me what you got. It's over. That's it. That's all there is to it. Because what are they going to say now? Like, okay, Greg agrees it's the nicest home he's ever seen. Greg agrees if anybody could sell it, it's $320. Greg agrees he'd love to sell it for $320 because he gets more money as well. That makes sense. He's on commission. Of course he would want to do that. It sounds like he's willing to take it at that price. Now all we need is empirical data to justify that price to the appraiser. Right? So when you present yourself this way, it keeps you on the right side of the fence with the homeowner. You're not creating pressure. You're creating an agreement here. Now, obviously, I'm not going to take the home at $320,000, but I'm showing, hey, maybe my marketing is that good. Maybe I can get a buyer to pay $320, but if we can't get it to appraise, it's not going to go through anyway. Now remember, back in chapter 2 of the Bulletproof Listing presentation, you're going through that education phase, and part of the education of showing them target marketing and that type of stuff, you're also showing them what a purchase contract looks like. And you're going to specifically say, if they're going with conventional financing, they'll check this box here. And of course, that will require an appraiser. And then, of course, if they're going with cash, you'll see they'll check this box here if they're paying all cash. And of course, then they're going to check that this cash offer is contingent on the home appraising at or above contract price. I'm sure you'll agree, multi-millionaires, they didn't get rich being stupid, right? They're not going to overpay for something. So while they may pay cash for your house, of course, they're going to require an appraisal. The reason we've done that back in chapter 2, we've taken a preemptive strike at when we get to chapter 4, presentation of price and fee, and I say, well, I can sell it for $320, but we have to get an appraiser. A lot of homeowners are going to say, oh, well, everybody in here buys for cash, so an appraisal is not needed. I'll guarantee you nobody's buying for cash and not making sure their cash is going where it should. They are still getting an appraisal. So when they check this little box that says it's an all-cash offer, they'll check the box right under it that says contingent on the home appraising at or above contract price. You see how we've taken that preemptive strike at that? So when you're pricing these homes, don't get into a battle with the seller and end up somewhere in the middle and whatever. Just agree with them. Heck, if anybody could sell it for 320, that's me. You saw how good my target marketing is? If my promise is really as good as I say it is, I could sell it for 320. Here's our problem. Tomorrow, the appraiser is going to come in, and I have to go to bat for us to justify that 320,000. Now, the comps I have in my bag here, I can't get us over 300. No sense in me even showing that to you because you're wanting 320. So as long as you've got some empirical data that I can use to go to bat for us when this freaking amazing marketing works for us, we can list it at whatever you want. Show me the data and we'll make it happen. That's good for you and it's good for me too. I'd love to set a new record in this neighborhood because no homes ever sold over 300,000. I'd love to set the new record. Show me the data that we can use. Do you guys see how that works? So now you're using the language patterns. Now you're understanding the psychological triggers you need to use. Again, this is in Bulletproof Listing presentation. It's why we do it that way. So if you've wondered, if you've been to our live events and you've seen some of these agents, it's just like, damn, how do they get all these nice listings? How are they averaging 11 days on the market? How do they not have anything that's overpriced? How do they not have the high maintenance seller? It's all done by design. It's a strategic approach there. They used to struggle the same way. But you've got to get this languaging down. You've got to understand how those psychological triggers work. You've got to make sure you're not creating friction with your homeowner. Is this stuff helpful for you, by the way? Or do you agree there's not much of this type of training out there? I've coached 30,000 realtors at all levels. I've been on thousands of listing appointments myself. I know what goes on in the mind of these homeowners, and I think if you can just get that clicking in your mind, if you can learn how this stuff works, it'll make a drastic difference on you getting nice properties, nice listings at a good price. So if this is helpful for you, like the video here, click the like button. Make sure you're following our page and you turn on to see this first. I do a Facebook Live every day, and this is the type of training that can make a huge difference for you on getting that home at the right price. So make sure you like the video and you follow the page. Turn on your notifications, obviously, so that you can see this first. So this stuff comes to you because look, these little tweaks, these little changes you do within your business can make a drastic difference on, number one, if you get the deal at all, and number two, if you actually sell it. I want to do I'll probably do a video for you tomorrow about the way we look at our commission structure and how we get the home sold to begin with. Do we want to accept that project or not? So if I remember, I'll write it down here, that I'll do that tomorrow. So you'll want to make sure you like or you follow our page and you turn on the notifications to see this first. So when you click the follow or following, it'll have a little button that says see this first. You'll want to do that. Tomorrow, I'm going to do the do we want this listing at all routine. And I'm going to show you how that works and how it works to communicate with the seller really well too. So hopefully this is helpful for you. If you haven't been on our Wednesday webinar, you'll want to register for that. It'll be in a link here somewhere, closingseverymonth.com. So again, closingseverymonth.com. Hopefully this has been helpful for you, how you get the seller to the right price. Any questions you have, feel free to send me a direct message. By the way, I appreciate all the comments here, all of the direct messages we're getting and the likes and the friends and that type of thing. I love helping you with your business. Every single day, I get messages from agents that it's drastically changed their business, or they got the deal last night, or it really helped them. It got them over the hump. They were dealing with some debt issues, that type of thing, and then they get a $30,000 a month. Dude, I love making massive life transformations for people. That's what I do. I mean, that's what excites me. Obviously, I'm at a point in my life now that life is extremely good. Like, I don't have a need for anything. So it feels really good to get agents in the right position too. So hopefully that's been helpful for you. Again, I've got a couple awesome topics coming up where I'm going to give you good value. I know that all of you guys love getting this good value and not getting like a hard pitch or, buy my shit or whatever it is, giving you a little bit of the topics, but don't really show you how to use it. I'm way past all that stuff. It's worked so well for all the agents I've coached over the years that life's good for me and it's good for them as well. I no longer have that hustle that I have to do. I love working with agents. I love getting them as new members and that type of thing. But my sole purpose, I know if I can make a significant impact on your business, you're staying for years, if not decades. So I want you to be one of those people as well. You can check us out at gregluthercoaching.com. But again, register for Wednesday's webinar, closingseverymonth.com. Go out there, sell some houses, and make it a profitable week. I'll talk to you soon, and bye-bye for now. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that video, and listen, we've got a lot more information for you to help you with growing your real estate business. We load new videos nearly every day, and I want you to have access. So you got to do two important things. It's both totally free. Number one, I want you to subscribe to this channel. You'll see the little subscribe button for you to click. If you don't have an account with YouTube, set it up. It's totally free. You got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important factor, you got to ring the bell. Right next to that subscribe button, you'll see a little bell to turn on notifications. That will let you know every time I load a new money-making video to help you with growing your real estate business. Subscribe and make sure you ring the bell. We'll see you in the next video.